So a lot of people have been asking me how I moved from the US to the UK with my dog Thor. So today I'm going to walk you through exactly how I did it, step by step, receipt by receipt, plus a few tricks I learned along the way that'll save you some time, money, and stress. Clearly, I was stressed because as you can see, I threw 3 different pet travel carriers in my parents' car just in case the check-in desk rejected the one that I brought. The airline restrictions are super tough because your dog has to be able to stand up and turn around inside the bag, which honestly felt impossible with the size limits that they give you. Luckily, the one I picked ended up working and they did not say anything, so I was very grateful. At LAX, there is a nice little pet relief area, which most international airports have, so I made sure Thor went before we boarded. That was his last chance to do so before the 11-hour flight, which was very unfortunate for him. I was really shocked that he managed to hold it the whole time. I did let him out of his bag a little bit just because I was like, yo man, look out the window, you are flying. I don't think he necessarily understood it. And in the bathroom, just so he can walk around in the little space that he had. By this point, he was pretty irritated at me, so I just gave him a little belly rub to kind of calm him down. The pet fee on my Air Tahiti flight was $150, which is pretty standard across most airlines. The EU and UK health certificates each cost $250 plus an additional $150 for overnight shipping, plus $20 for the tapeworm pill. Please check out my blog below as the timing for these are super important and can be a bit of mental gymnastics. Once we landed in Paris at the CDG airport, I booked an Uber Pet to the hotel for 33 euros. We stayed at the OKKO hotel. I had a great time at this hotel, maybe because it was so hot outside and it had AC, but for me it was a 10 out of 10. And most importantly, it was pet friendly, so Thor felt super welcome and comfortable. This was definitely the niftiest gadget I bought for the trip. It comes with a separate food container that you can clip in there, but the niftiest part is that you're able to recycle the water when they're done with it, so I was able to feed him and give him water all with this one gadget, which was really cool. I should also mention why we're in Paris. So you're not allowed to bring your dog in cabin into the UK. And I know my dog, he would not have been okay being in the cargo, so that just was not an option. So I did a bit of research and compared really just Paris and Amsterdam, and ultimately chose Paris because it was more cost effective. Thor loved Paris. I think he would have stayed there if he had the choice. The next morning, we started our journey to Calais. We took the train from Gare du Nord to Calaisville for $62. It left at 9:30 a.m. and arrived at 1 p.m. So about a 3.5-hour journey. Here's the trick I wish I had known. There's a faster train that's only 2 hours and gets into the train station our pet taxi was leaving from. Because we didn't take it, I had to grab an Uber Pet from Calaisville to Calais Friton for 39 euros. If I'd booked the train directly, I could have skipped that cost completely and a lot of time. Now for the most important part, crossing the channel. Dogs can't just hop on the Eurostar, so the only option is a pet taxi. We took Le Pet Express, and I think this was the most nerve-wracking part of the trip. Just because you've made it so far, and the health certificates have to be done within 10 days of travel, and the tapeworm within 5 days, so if something goes wrong, you have to do this again and find a vet in Paris. And this is also where they check the microchip to ensure that it's ISO compliant. So luckily, all the paperwork was good to go. Thor was ready to get back on the van because he really did not like it in there. He said, "Lock me up, please." The Le Pet Express pet taxi cost me $236, and since then the price has gone up to $250. That's still the cheapest pet taxi that I managed to find. I highly recommend it. Nigel was our driver and he was super efficient and nice and friendly, so I definitely would recommend their service. Once we made it across, I took the train from Ashford Station to London for $66, and then we made it. We were so excited and exhausted, but we made it to London. Woo woo woo. Well, traveling with a pet is not cheap. It is priceless. I can't imagine starting my life here in London without my boy. Feel free to check out my blog as I go more into detail on the logistics of this move, especially on the health certificates, which can get a little bit confusing, as I mentioned before. If you enjoyed coming along with us and want more tips related to travel, wine, or romance, make sure to like this video and follow me cute for more guides.